Welcome to Animate Bible Stories. Our Bible story for you today is Daniel in the Lion's Den, based on Daniel chapter 6. The background: Daniel's rise to power. Daniel, a man of deep faith and wisdom, had lived through extraordinary times. As a young man, he was taken captive from his homeland of Judah when King Nebuchadnezzar of Babylon conquered Jerusalem. Yet Daniel, even as an exile, distinguished himself through his unwavering devotion to God and his incredible gift of interpreting dreams. Over the years, he had served faithfully under multiple kings, and now, in the reign of King Darius of Persia, Daniel was again highly favored. When Darius took the throne after the fall of Babylon, he reorganized his kingdom, dividing it into 120 provinces and appointing satraps, or governors, over each province. Above these satraps, the king appointed 3 administrators, and Daniel was one of them. But Daniel wasn't just one of the administrators. He quickly stood out among all the officials. His intelligence, integrity, and godly character made him exceptional in the eyes of the king. In fact, Darius was so impressed with Daniel that he planned to set him over the entire kingdom, making him second only to the king himself. However, this extraordinary favor came with a price. The other satraps and administrators, filled with jealousy and bitterness, began to plot against Daniel. They could not stand that this foreigner, this Jew, was about to be given such immense power over them. But as much as they tried to find fault with him, they couldn't. The conspiracy against Daniel. Daniel's life was blameless. His work was diligent, and his honesty was beyond reproach. There was nothing they could use against him, except one thing: his unwavering faith in the God of Israel. The jealous officials gathered in secret and devised a cunning plan. Knowing Daniel's daily routine of prayer, they approached King Darius with flattery and a devious proposal. "O King Darius, live forever," they began, bowing before him. "We have all agreed that the king should issue an edict and enforce a decree that anyone who prays to any god or man, except to you, O king, for the next 30 days, shall be thrown into the den of lions." Darius, caught up in their flattery, saw this as a way to consolidate his power and agreed to the decree. He had no idea that the law was crafted with the sole intent of trapping Daniel. According to the law of the Medes and Persians, once a decree was signed by the king, it could not be repealed or changed, even by the king himself. The document was signed, and the law was set in motion. Daniel's response: when Daniel learned that the decree had been signed, he was faced with a choice. The law of the land had now forbidden anyone from praying to anyone other than the king. But for Daniel, his devotion to God was non-negotiable. He could have easily prayed in secret, kept his faith hidden for the next 30 days, and avoided the lion's den. But Daniel's relationship with God was not something to be hidden or compromised. As he had always done, Daniel went to his upper room, opened the windows that faced Jerusalem, and knelt to pray. 3 times a day, he prayed and gave thanks to God, just as he had done before. He knew the consequences of his actions, but Daniel feared God more than he feared the wrath of men. His trust in God was unshaken. The conspirators were watching. They knew Daniel's habits and were ready to pounce. As soon as they saw him praying, they hurried to report to the king. "O king, did you not sign a decree that anyone who prays to any god or man within 30 days, except to you, would be thrown into the lion's den?" they asked, feigning concern. The king confirmed the decree. Then they revealed their plot. "Daniel, who is one of the exiles from Judah, pays no attention to you, O king, or to the decree you put in writing. He still prays 3 times a day." Darius' dilemma. King Darius was deeply troubled. He cared for Daniel and admired his loyalty, but now he was caught in his own decree. For the rest of the day, Darius worked tirelessly to find a way to rescue Daniel, but the law of the Medes and Persians could not be undone. His advisors reminded him that no decree or edict of the king could be changed. At sunset, with a heavy heart, the king gave the order, and Daniel was brought before him. "May your God, whom you serve continually, rescue you," Darius said to Daniel as the guards led him away. The entrance to the den was sealed with a large stone, and the king placed his royal seal on it to ensure that no one could interfere with Daniel's fate. Then Darius returned to his palace, unable to eat, sleep, or be entertained. He spent the night in anguish, waiting for the morning to come. The miracle, Daniel in the lion's den. As night fell, Daniel found himself in a den filled with hungry lions. The den was a large, dark pit with no escape. The lions prowled around, their eyes glowing in the darkness. Their roars echoed off the walls. But in that den, something incredible happened. God sent his angel to shut the mouths of the lions. The beasts, who would normally tear a man apart in moments, were silenced and tamed. All through the night, Daniel remained safe, his faith in God unwavering. The lions did not harm him because God had intervened. The king's relief. At the first light of dawn, King Darius rushed to the lion's den. He had spent a sleepless night worrying about his friend, and hoping against hope that Daniel's God would save him. When he reached the den, he called out in an anguished voice, "Daniel, servant of the living God, has your God, whom you serve continually, been able to rescue you from the lions?" A moment of silence passed, and then, to the king's great relief, Daniel's voice echoed from the den. "O king, live forever. My God sent his angel, and he shut the mouths of the lions. They have not hurt me, because I was found innocent in his sight. Nor have I ever done any wrong before you, O king." Darius was overjoyed, and immediately ordered that Daniel be lifted out of the den. As Daniel emerged, everyone saw that not a scratch was found on him, for he had trusted in his God. The king's heart was filled with gratitude and amazement at the power of Daniel's God. The fate of the conspirators. But the story didn't end there. The king, enraged at the deceit and wickedness of the men who had conspired against Daniel, gave a swift and severe command. The men who had falsely accused Daniel, along with their families, were brought and thrown into the lion's den. Before they even reached the bottom of the pit, the lions overpowered them and crushed their bones. The same lions that had left Daniel unharmed tore the conspirators apart, proving once again that God had been with his servant. King Darius' proclamation. Overwhelmed by what he had witnessed, King Darius issued a new decree to the entire kingdom. This time, it wasn't a decree that elevated himself, but one that gave glory to the God of Daniel. The king's proclamation spread across the vast Persian Empire. "I issue a decree that in every part of my kingdom people must fear and reverence the God of Daniel. For he is the living God and he endures forever. His kingdom will not be destroyed, his dominion will never end. He rescues and he saves. He performs signs and wonders in the heavens and on the earth. He has rescued Daniel from the power of the lions." If you find this story inspiring, please subscribe to Animate Bible Stories channel. Thank you.